Johnny, what are you doing on the floor? The show is starting.
I am trying to stretch, but now I have a problem.
Is the floor comfortable?
No, honestly, it is very hard, but my back is stiff, and now I cannot get up.
You cannot get up? You mean you are stuck?
Yes, I need to get over this back pain so I can get up and teach English. Help me, Amelia.
Oh, Johnny, you and your exercises. Here, take my hand.
Oh, phew. Thank you. That was embarrassing.
It was a little funny, but actually you just used our 2 magic words for today.
I did? Which words? Help me?
No, you said get up and get over.
Ah, you were right. 2 of the most important phrasal verbs in English.
And if you are learning English, you need these words every single day. Welcome back to English Hub Daily. I am Amelia.
And I am Johnny. Hello, everyone. We are so happy you're here with us today.
Today we have a very special lesson. We are going to look at 2 phrasal verbs that look similar but have very different meanings.
Yes, get up and get over.
Many students confuse these. They say, I got up the flu, or I got over from bed.
That sounds strange. That sounds like a robot.
Exactly. It does not sound natural. So today, we are going to fix that. We will learn the definitions, we will practice pronunciation, and we will tell some stories.
I love stories. And speaking of stories, if you want to follow our story and learn English every day, please make sure you subscribe to the channel right now.
Yes, click that red button and the bell. It helps us create more lessons for you. We don't want you to miss the next video.
So, Amelia, where should we start? Should we start with the morning?
I think that is the best place. The beginning of the day. Section 1. The morning routine. Wake up versus get up.
Okay, let's talk about the morning. Amelia, I have a question. What time did your alarm ring this morning?
My alarm rang at 6:30 a.m.
6:30. That is very early. And what happened when the alarm rang?
Well, I opened my eyes. I stopped sleeping, so I woke up.
Okay, so wake up means to stop sleeping. Your brain is active. Your eyes are open.
Correct. But did I leave my bed at 6:30?
Knowing you, Amelia, probably yes.
Actually, no. It was cold this morning. Brr. So I stayed under the blanket for 10 minutes.
Aha! This is the key difference. You woke up at 6:30, but you did not get up.
Exactly. To get up means to physically leave your bed, to put your feet on the floor and stand up.
This is very important. In my house, it is very different.
How is your routine, Johnny?
Well, I wake up at 7, but honestly, I do not want to leave my bed. I look at my phone, I check Instagram, I check the weather.
You are procrastinating.
I am very lazy in the morning, so I wake up at 7, but I usually get up at 7:45.
Wow, 45 minutes?
Yes, it is a struggle.
Okay, students, let's practice this distinction. I want you to listen to the sentence and then repeat it. Focus on the difference.
Listen carefully. I wake up early, but I get up late.
Visual, timer icon for 5 seconds. One more time, loudly.
I wake up early, but I get up late.
Visual, timer icon for 3 seconds. Excellent work. Now, let's try a question. Ask me, Johnny.
Okay, repeat after me. What time do you usually get up?
Visual, timer icon for 4 seconds. Very good. Notice the linking sound? Get up. It sounds like one word. Get up.
Get up. Get up. Try it one more time. Get up.
Visual, timer icon for 3 seconds. Perfect. So that is meaning number 1, the morning routine. But Johnny, earlier you were on the floor.
Don't remind me.
You were on the floor and you used get up there too.
Yes, because get up also means to stand up from any position.
Right. If you are sitting in a chair and you stand, you get up.
Look, I am sitting. Now I get up.
Or if you fall down playing football,
Which happens to me often.
you need to get up from the ground.
So the core meaning is movement upward, moving your body up.
Exactly. Upward movement.
Before we move to the next word, I want to help our students with pronunciation.
Good idea. In American English, and often in casual British English, the T in get up changes a little bit, right?
Yes, we don't usually say get T up with a strong T. It flows.
It sounds like a soft D sound in American English. Get up.
Or in British English, we link it tight. Get up.
Let's practice a full sentence. Imagine you are angry at someone who is lazy.
Ooh, I like acting. Who am I angry at?
You are angry at your brother. He is sleeping at 11 a.m. Tell him to move.
Okay, acting angry. Hey, it is late. Get up.
Visual, text. Get up with a red exclamation mark. Everyone, repeat with Johnny's emotion.
Get up.
Visual, timer icon for 3 seconds. Once more, you are frustrated.
Come on, get up.
Visual, timer icon for 3 seconds. Very good. You sound very natural. Hopefully, you are not shouting at people in real life, though. Be nice. Now, let's look at the second magic verb, get over.
This one is a little more difficult, I think.
It has a physical meaning and a mental meaning. Let's start with the physical.
Okay, imagine I am walking down the street and there is a big wall in front of me.
A big wall. You cannot go through it.
No, I cannot go under it. I must go over it.
So you climb up and you go down the other side. You get over the wall.
Exactly. Or a fence. When I was a child, I used to get over the fence to play in the park.
You were a naughty child, Johnny.
A little bit, but I had to get over the fence to get my football.
So the logic is, there's an obstacle. You go from one side to the other side.
Think of this shape, an arc, up and over.
Do we use this often in daily conversation?
Sometimes, for example, I can't get over this gate, it is too high.
But honestly, we use the metaphorical meaning much more.
Yes, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where students make mistakes.
Imagine the obstacle is not a wall. Imagine the obstacle is a sickness.
Achoo! Oh no.
Bless you.
Thank you. I have a cold. I feel terrible.
The cold is the obstacle. It's stopping you from being happy. It's stopping you from working.
Yes, it's like a wall in my life. I want to be on the other side of the wall, the healthy side.
So when you recover, when you feel better, we say you get over the cold.
Ah, so recover equals get over.
Yes, but recover is very formal.
I have recovered from my illness.
That sounds like a textbook.
Or a robot. Beep, boop.
Yes, in normal conversation with friends, we use get over.
So if I'm sick on Monday and Tuesday, but on Wednesday I feel good, I can say, I got over my cold on Wednesday.
Exactly. Let's practice this. Students, think about the last time you were sick. Maybe the flu?
The flu is terrible. It takes a long time to get over the flu.
Listen and repeat. It took me a week to get over the flu. That is a long sentence. Let's break it down. It took me a week.
to get over the flu.
Now put it together.
It took me a week to get over the flu.
Excellent work! And remember, this works for almost any sickness, a cold, a headache, a fever.
I hope you get over your headache soon.
That is a very nice phrase to send to a friend. If your friend texts you, "I'm sick today," what do you reply?
You should reply, I hope you get over it soon.
Perfect! Students, write that down. That is a very natural response. And speaking of helpful things, Johnny,
Yes?
if this lesson is helping you understand these verbs, please hit the like button right now.
Visual? A thumbs up animation pops up with a sound effect. Yes, if we get many likes, we know that you want more phrasal verbs. Do you want get in, get out, get down?
There are so many, so please like the video to tell us.
Emilia, I am sad today.
Why, Johnny? What is wrong?
My football team lost again. They lose every week. It breaks my heart.
Oh dear. This is the third meaning of get over.
Emotional obstacles.
Yes. Sometimes the wall is not physical. Sometimes the wall is not a virus. Sometimes the wall is sadness.
So, if I am sad and then I become happy again, I got over the sadness?
Exactly. We use this for breakups, for bad news, for shock, or for disappointments.
A breakup is a big one. If your girlfriend leaves you.
That is very sad. It might take months to get over her.
It is hard to get over a broken heart.
This is a very poetic and common phrase. Let's practice it.
Repeat with me. It is hard to get over a broken heart.
Timer for 5 seconds. Very good. What about something smaller, like a bad haircut?
Hey, do you not like my hair?
No, your hair is lovely. But imagine you got a bad haircut. You are angry.
I would be very angry. I would wear a hat.
But after 2 days, you accept it. You stop being angry.
I got over it.
You got over the bad haircut.
So, get over means to accept a situation and move forward.
Yes, to stop letting it bother you.
Sometimes people say this in an unkind way, right?
Yes, if someone is complaining too much, you might hear, "Oh, come on, get over it."
That is a bit rude.
It is very direct. Get over it. It means stop complaining and move on.
Be careful using that one, students. Only use it with close friends who are complaining too much. Okay, Emilia, we have learned a lot.
We have learned get up, morning, bed, get up, stand up, get over, physical wall, get over, sickness, get over, emotions.
That is 5 meanings. No wonder English is difficult.
But our students are smart. Are you ready for a quiz?
I am ready. Test me.
I will give you a situation. You tell me the correct verb.
Okay, and you at home, shout the answer at the screen.
Situation 1. The alarm clock rings. You open your eyes. You stay in bed. Then finally, you stand on the floor.
I stand on the floor. I leave the bed. This is get up.
Correct.
Ding. Green check mark.
Situation 2. You had a terrible flu. You felt sick for 5 days. Now you are healthy.
I recovered. I felt better. I got over it.
Correct. Note the past tense. Got over.
Got over. Good point.
Situation 3. You are sitting on the sofa watching TV. You need to go to the kitchen.
I am sitting. I need to stand. I must get up.
Correct again.
This is easy. Give me a hard one.
Okay. Situation 4. You failed your driving test. You were very sad, but now you are ready to try again. You are not sad anymore.
Ooh, emotional recovery. I was sad. Now I'm happy. I got over the failure.
100% correct. You are a master, Johnny.
And how did you do at home? Did you get 4 out of 4?
If you got 4 out of 4, write perfect score in the comments.
Now we need to put this all together.
Words are useful, but sentences are better. Stories are the best.
I am going to tell you a short story about my holiday last year. It was a disaster.
Oh no, a disaster holiday?
Yes. I want you to listen for get up and get over. Count how many times you hear them.
Listen for the past tense. Got up and got over.
Ready? Here we go. Last summer, I went camping. It was a mistake. On the first morning, it was raining. I woke up at 6 a.m., but I didn't want to get up. It was so cold. Finally, I got up at 9 a.m., but then I ate some bad sausages. I felt terrible. I was sick for 2 days. I couldn't get over the stomachache. I was sad. But by the end of the trip, I finally got over the sickness, and I got over my hatred of camping. Just kidding. I still hate camping.
Poor Johnny. Camping is not for you.
Definitely not. I prefer a hotel.
Okay, students, how many times did you hear the magic verbs?
Let's count. I didn't want to get up. Finally, I got up. I couldn't get over the ache. I got over the sickness. I got over my hatred.
5 times.
Did you hear them all? It shows how common these words are. You can tell a whole story with them.
Now, Johnny, it is your turn.
My turn?
Yes. Tell us a sentence about your morning today.
Okay. Today, I got up very fast because I was excited to record this video.
Aw, that is very sweet and true. So remember the formula. Get up is physical. It is for leaving the bed or standing up.
And get over is recovery. It is for jumping over a wall, recovering from sickness, or feeling better after sadness.
We want you to practice. We have a homework assignment for you.
Yes, in the comments below, answer this question. What is something you got over recently?
Did you get over a cold? Did you get over a fear? Or did you just get over a busy week?
Write a full sentence. I recently got over.
We read every comment. We really do.
And if you enjoyed this lesson with me and Amelia, please hit the like button. It helps English Hub Daily so much.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next lesson. We have more phrasal verbs coming soon.
Stay warm, put on your sweater, and keep practicing.
See you next time. Bye-bye.